Hello everyone. This is from page 191. It's the review section of all the different forms that we've been talking about for writing the equation of a line. So I'll just start with number 1 at the top. It starts in asking you to write a slope-intercept form, the equation of a line in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So we need two pieces of information. We need the slope and the y-intercept. Now, the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis, and we are given the y-intercept in the form of this point. So we can just write y equals negative 8x plus 3. Number 2 is similar to that. Y equals 3/4 x minus 7. Now, in question number 3, we are given the equation of a line, not in any specific form, but it kind of looks like standard form a little bit. So I'm just going to rewrite this as 3y equals, I'm going to add 5x to both sides. And when I do that, the 5x and the negative 5 will simplify to get us 0. And when I add 8 to both sides, then the 8 will show up on the other side by adding 8 here and adding 8 to the other side. Now I'm going to divide by 3, divide both sides by 3. And if I break this up into two fractions, I get 5/3 x plus 8/3. Now, it says find the slope and the y-intercept of the line whose equation is this. So now we know that our slope is 5/3 and our intercept would be 8/3, or 0 and 8/3 for our y-intercept. Here's our slope. Here's our y-intercept. Now, in number 4, it's just a multiple choice question. It says, which of the slope-intercept is the slope-intercept of the form of the line that we see in our graph? We know that it crosses at 3, so this one is out, and this one is out. And then we just have to pick the appropriate slope. And this is down 3, right 5. Down 3, right 5. So that would be negative 3/5 x plus 3. So here's our correct answer. For numbers 5 through 9, we're asked to analyze a graph here. And this is about a person who has been selling baseball cards. And he shows his earnings for 1 week on the following graph. Now, notice that his weekly earnings start off to be negative. And it's not until he has sold 5 packs of cards that his weekly earnings is even 0. And then once he gets more than 5 cards, number of packs sold, then the weekly earnings then starts to be positive. Now, the initial fee Mike pays each week, the initial one he pays each week is when he has sold 0 packs. So for 0 packs, that means that he starts off with a negative balance of $12.50. So each week, he really starts here in the hole of negative $12.50. Now, the initial fee is not negative $12.50. The initial fee would be $12.50. Now, we say that it's negative because it cuts into his profits. How many packs does Mike sell to break even? That would be 5. And then what is the price of 1 pack of cards? Well, when he sells 1 pack of cards, the earnings go up 2.5. 1 pack of cards, 2.5. So the price of 1 pack of cards must be $2.50. Now in number 8, we should be able to write this equation in slope-intercept form. So y is equal to 250x minus 1250. Now 9, how many packs of cards must Mike sell to make $40? So if we use this equation, then $40 would be equal to 250x minus 1250. And if we add 1250 to both sides, that would be 5250 is equal to 250x. Now, if you take 5250 divided by 2.5, then that means that when he sells 21 packs, then he will have made $40. In number 10, what is the equation in point-slope form? Now with point-slope form, we're not going to write it into y equals mx plus b. We're going to use y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. And so the equation for that line then would be y minus 12 is equal to 5/6 x plus 9. So here's our equation in point-slope form. And then number 11 says, what is the equation in slope-intercept form that has a slope of 0.25 and passes through the point 6, -8? Now, we could do this a couple of different ways, but I'm going to try it one way like this. Y equals 0.25x plus b. Now, we know that when y is -8, our x value is 6, and then we can solve for b. This will be -8. 6 times 0.25 is 1.5 plus b. And then if I subtract 1.5 from both sides, I'll get -9.5. So my equation then will be y is equal to 0.25x minus 9.5. Now, another way to do it would be to write y plus 8 equals 0.25x minus 6. Start with point-slope form. And if you do that, then this would be 0.25x minus 1.5. And if you subtract 8 from both sides, you will end up getting the same equation. So that's another way to do the problem. And then finally, number 12, it says write an equation in point-slope form of the line that goes through these 2 points. So the first thing that I'm going to do is come up with the slope. So 8 minus -3, 8 minus -3 over -5 minus 2 would give me 11 over -7. So 8 minus -3, -5 minus 2. Now I have the slope, and then I can choose either point, and I'm going to choose this one. So that will end up being y plus 3 equals -11/7 x minus 2. Now remember, we can put the negative in the denominator, in the numerator, or out in front. Now, if you decided to use the other point, then it would just be y minus 8 equals negative 11/7, and then x plus 5. But it says write the equation in point-slope form. It doesn't say which point we have to use, so either one of those is fine.